This is a message to the real people of these islands, the English, the Irish, the Scotch and the Welsh. People who have made these islands what they are. Peoples whose ancestry goes back centuries or even 1,000 years or more. And when you look and see what's taken place on these islands of ours, for those who are really concerned, it is grievous. Do you feel concerned about what's happening about us? Do you feel that anybody is listening to you? Do you feel there is nobody who cares about what we feel or what we have to say? Do you feel betrayed? Do you feel we are at a point of no return? Do you feel we are heading towards social breakdown? Do you even feel intimidated in your own land? Frightened about what you can say? Place you're classed as a racist or a fascist? Do you like what you see happening? Do you know who's responsible for that? You are. And why? Because you've said nothing and done nothing. And you've allowed these in the Labour Party and others in the establishment to get hold and to do what they will with these islands of ours. And remember, Mr. Blair and his government 10 years ago got into power with only 20% of the people of these islands voting for him. 80% of people of these islands did not vote for this man or his party. Do not forget that. Most of the others are the foreign indigenous individuals who have come here over the last few decades. The vast majority of ordinary Brits did not vote for them. And my God, they were right. But sadly, because of this democratic system, they got into power. And what have we seen over this decade? Outrageous things happening to our way of life, which has forced over 10 million white Britons to leave these islands of ours. And we are responsible for it. Even though we don't agree with the Labour Party or don't vote for them or whatever they've done, as most people don't. Nevertheless, we are still responsible. And why? Because we didn't speak up loud enough. We didn't say anything. It's just like the man we've all seen in these westerns, the old Mexican guy with his belt of cartridges across his shoulder and a belt across the other shoulder, with his 2 pistols down his side, with his dirks, his knives, and his boots, and his rifle over his shoulder. And he says, "I come in peace." Well, if you believe that, you deserve to be shot. And we have allowed these criminals to speak about peace and all the good intent that they have. And what has happened? We have all been taken to the cleaners. Their agenda has been totally different to what we expected. And to see the disintegration of our way of life. And because of that, we are being threatened in our own homeland. Careful what we have to say. We see on the TV regularly these people, the Muslims, the Hindus and other foreign minorities, constantly on the radio, in the media, on TV, being asked about their opinions of this, that or the other. How many of these in power or in the media ask us Geordies what we feel about things? Are you Scotch or Welsh or Irish lads? Or the Yorkshire or the Lancashire lads? Or from Glasgow? Who of us is consulted? We have to shut up and put up and pay up. And that's all we are. We are white trash now in our own country. It is outrageous what has taken place on these islands. And we deserve it. And why? Because people have just accepted it. And only a few have cried out and said something. And they have been knocked down by those in the media, specifically put there by the Labour Party, people of the establishment. And at the moment, they have the upper hand in controlling things. But at the end of the day, we are the ones who've allowed them to take these liberties, or rather impose things upon us that you and I know the vast majority of people of these islands do not want and totally disagree with. So what can we do? What can we say? What can we do to affect things, to make a difference? Well, listen to the next part. Hopefully that will give you some guidance. So wake up and think, what can I do to make a difference in this country of ours, in your community? And I'm telling you now that millions of people feel deeply aggrieved at what's taken place, but they don't say anything. It's all building up inside of them, as it's building up within the whole nation. Millions of people feel strongly. We need to do something and to say something about these villains in power who are absolutely destroying the whole British way of life by imposing upon us laws and peoples and ways that we do not want. And you have a right to disapprove, to dislike, whoever or whatever you so choose. But they are telling you, you can't. Well, let's see what we can say and do about that in the next part. Thank you for listening.